evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the penultimate show of the season 2 of the Diversey BW Hotelier GM Show series. This is the 35th episode. Today, Thursday, December 29. And what a show. I'm into the city of the Taj, Agra. And we have a great topic to discuss today. We've called it From Jewar to Jewel, Agra's luxury hospitality in the connectivity era. Jewar is going to be a game changer for Agra, Mathura, and that entire catchment. It's the go-between location between Noida and Agra. And what a connect and what an investment. Before I begin to speak more on the show, let me bring in my partner to the show, Diversey. Thank you, Diversey. You've been a great partner. We'll be doing 36 shows. Tomorrow will be the 36th show. Without much ado, I shall shorten my script this time because every time I had been saying every Thursday and Friday. Well, today is Thursday. Tomorrow is going to be Friday. 2 shows, and we close the year and we close the season. Let me begin rolling in with the first star of our show. Somebody with amazing experience, somebody who's handled brilliant assets, and he's now moved into Agra. Rajesh Chakraborty, my good friend from the Taj. He's the Cluster General Manager Operations and the General Manager of the Taj Hotels and Convention Center in Agra. Welcome to the show, Rajesh ji.
Thank you so much, Bhuvanesh ji, and it's good to be in your show. And it's a brilliant, brilliant opportunity and pedestal for us to put our view in this esteemed show. Thank you.
Such a pleasure. Last time when you logged in, you were in Aurangabad.
Absolutely.
So our second one together and a good one.
Thank you.
Next in is my good friend from Agra again, Samir Jilani, who heads a wonderful asset over there, an iconic asset. He is the general manager of the ITC Mughal, a luxury collection resort and spa. Welcome to the show, Samir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Khanna. Good afternoon, fellow colleagues on the show. And it's a pleasure to be here and speak about Agra, the destination which definitely is a jewel for all of us.
Thank you so much, Samir. Thank you for being there. Next in is my good friend, Shyam Kumar, who's the general manager of the DoubleTree by Hilton in Agra. Hello, Shyam.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you? And good afternoon to other colleagues as well. Sir, first of all, thank you so much for bringing in the show to Agra and giving us that platform to speak to the world, connect us with the world, and something which is really needed. Thank you so much once again. And so happy to be here.
Delighted to do the show in Agra. Can you imagine doing a show particularly in Agra? I think they will be the first ones to do it, and we'll do more. Next in is Amulya Kakkar, who's the general manager of the Clark Shiraz in Agra, one of the first 5 stars in Agra. Welcome to the show, Mr. Kakkar.
So thank you very much for getting this show as a lovely platform. I am delighted to join the show with my fellow colleagues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amulya ji. Next in is one of the 3 Khannas on the show today, Mukta Khanna. Mukta Khanna is the general manager of the Holiday Inn Agra. Welcome to the show, Mukta.
Good afternoon, Mr. Khanna. Good afternoon, everyone. It's really lovely to be here. And thank you for bringing this show to Agra and giving us our due credit for the city. And this is really a city beyond Taj. And I think that's what the platform we look at today.
Those are very kind words. And thank you for gracing the show, Mukta. Your presence means a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Last but not the least, the third Khanna on the show. May I say the second one, and I'll be the third one. Saurabh Khanna. Saurabh is the general manager of the Courtyard by Marriott Agra. Welcome to the show, Saurabh.
Good afternoon, Mr. Khanna. Thank you for inviting me on this esteemed panel. Really a privilege to share this virtual dais with such distinguished guests. And as everyone said, I'm going to echo the same sentiments. Thank you for putting Agra on this platform. I think it deserves much more than what people talk about. So thank you for putting us there.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. Agra deserves a lot. You know, Agra is in more ways than one. Of course, it is a wonder of the world, but it means a lot for Indian history, for Indian hospitality, travel, tourism, and also F&B. So thank you, gentlemen, and Mukta. Thank you for being there. Let me begin with a brief introduction to the show. Today, we set our sights on the timeless city of Agra, home to the iconic Taj Mahal, as it undergoes a transformative phase with the imminent inauguration of the Jewar airport. And today we explore how the connectivity leap is reshaping Agra's luxury hospitality landscape, unlocking opportunities and challenges for general managers and luxury general managers for that. Now that I've set the context of the show going, let me roll in with the first question with you, Rajesh, if I may, with your permission. All right. Let's begin straight away with MICE opportunities. And if you can analyze the potential and challenges in hosting MICE in Agra.
As you all know, that MICE tourism has become the increasingly popular in recent years, and business recognize the importance of hosting, big meeting, conferences, and events outside their home turf. Also, we at Agra Hotels offer all the amenities and conveniences which are necessary for a successful event, as well as variety of activities and entertainments. Options are well available at this city. The Agra Hotels and Convention Center always aims to elevate the exhibition and conventions, opportunities across the range of hotels, what we have to provide here. We redefine the standards and exhibitions and convention space by offering great spaces, service centers. We have the infrastructure and very capable of handling large-scale MICE social events, weddings, concert, and many more. Currently, the key source market, we have been, always banking on the major metro cities, whether it's Bombay, Chennai, Delhi, and some mega cities like Hyderabad and Bangalore. But the emerging upcoming markets in the future and current is Agra, Udaipur, Ahmedabad, Varanasi, which exhibits the possibilities that this city can host mega MICE conferences at the hotels. According to the latest research, if you see 2023, India outbound marketing meetings, incentive conferences have a huge potential of almost $13.4 billion, and it should reach by 2031. The Indian outbound tourism market experiencing significant growth due to the combination of many more factors like economic growth, government support, infrastructure development, and increasing awareness among businesses and individuals of the benefits of attending such international MICE events. As India continues to expand the global business presence, the MICE tourism market is likely to continue its growth trajectory in big way. The growth of India's MICE tourism market influenced by several key factors, and one of that is economic growth. India expanding in a big way, as we are the 5th largest economy of the world. Going forward, we'll achieve the 3rd position very soon. Globalization of the entire market is also a key factor, where increasing globally necessitates international meetings, collaboration, as well as the network opportunities. This also drives the demand of outbound MICE in a big way. Thirdly, the tourism infrastructure development, as city of Agra also had done a lot of connectivities which was not there in past. Currently, the city is connected to the major cities, whether it's Jaipur, Bombay, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, and these are the key source market upcoming for our MICE conference business at the city. Also, corporate incentive programs also did a lot of things in terms of companies use outbound MICE as a tourism as part of their employee incentive program. This encourages employees to, go to the other cities and participate in such kind of MICE conference to get business across the country. Destination diversity also plays a very important role, which is increasingly looking for diverse destinations, both popular and emerging, to host MICE conferences. And Agra as a city, we have almost 12 five-star hotels with an inventory of 2,200 room availability, and the conference and banqueting sizes also to offer and capture sub businesses in the future as well. So overall, this city have the potential in terms of infrastructure, logistics, as well as connectivity to host bigger MICE conference at the city going forward.
Very well said. I must tell you, like I've always maintained, Agra is a magnet, right? The numbers are waiting to happen. People want to come and see the Taj. People want to come and experience Agra. Now, with the opening up of the Jewar airport, which is due in another few months, if I may, next year, I think the real action is just about to begin, right? So we hoteliers need to be prepared. Very soon in the future, you will see a shortage of rooms. You'll see a shortage of capacity, right? You talk about MICE, you talk about travel tourism, you talk about weddings. It's all, waiting to happen. It's already happening, but the scale is going to be very large, Rajeshji. And you already have a convention center over there. You've made your investments where the buck is, right? So good. And given the fact that we have amazing road, rail, and air network and regional air connectivity, I think all in all, it augurs extremely well for us. Thank you, Rajeshji. Let me now slip in with my good friend, Samir Jilani. Samir, like Rajeshji and my other colleagues, is a very experienced hotelier. And I'd like to pick on his mind on operational dynamics. Samir, if you can help us navigate the operational intricacies faced by luxury hotel general managers, which covers sales, marketing, revenue, and also a dose of cultural sensitivity.
So, thank you, Mr. Khanna, and hello everyone once again. The operational dynamics is a moving picture, and this remains for every city, state, or any destination which it pegs itself to be a tourist destination. Various means of tourism, types of tourists, that's a different topic which will be covered during this session. But overall, I feel that the moving picture has its problems, plus minuses, and how we enhance the strength that is there with us is the main thing which we all have to look at. So when I look at sales, now the sales would be only the viewing of the segment, but also how do we establish new segments into the existing set of clients that come in. How do we harness the relationship of the existing set of clientele that we have? The new avenues possible to get what maximum in terms of people's inbound to us and eventually the revenue for the hotels. So these are some of the important things which one has to deal with when it comes to sell. Selling a room, food and beverage is everyone's DNA. But how does it become a step better, a step more value for money is the most important thing. So these might include rooms and food and beverage options, along with some excursion activities. These might be some in-house activities which engage our guests. These are the things which are certainly to be viewed and reviewed constantly, because the attention span as well as the human mind to connect to certain thing and use it for a long time keeps changing fast in today's time. And today we are sitting in a generation which has got the millennials as well as the exponentials all put together in the same time period. So there are 3-4 generations overlapping each other, each having their own different requirements. So catering to them is also an important part. Marketing. What do we market besides Taj Mahal? How do we market Agra? City of Love only because of Taj Mahal. City of Love not for a MICE wedding, not for a MICE conference, but as Rajesh was trying to put across the strength of MICE, that needs to be marketed in the options available in today's requirement. So the marketing is not only about the space, it's about what you can do as outdoor activities. What can you do as team building activities? What can you do as sightseeing, excursions, indulgence into the history, or as simple as the food trades. So, these are things which has to be shown to the general world besides us as City of Love, Taj Mahal, and Agra. Revenue is the final outcome of all these efforts. The entire pie of the graded hotels or 4-star, 3-star plus hotels, the total pie is the size of nearly around 1,500 CR per month, give or take another 200, 300 CR across the figure of 1,500. Everybody has their slice possibility. Everybody has a chance to take a slice out of the pie. It's how much do you really bite and get more than the regular share is the most important thing. And again, doing things differently, citing the right chance and enhancing the opportunity is one of the most important things that are to be seen. So overall, revenue remains the prime objective of our business. With inbound tourism becoming at an all-time 106% rise over the years for this year, 15 billion in terms of revenue generation for the country. I think we stand a very good chance of enhancing our revenues across the next 2-3 years by nearly around 10 to 15% every hotel by itself. And this is just not about increasing the prices, because that is a very, very dangerous strategy as to just keep increasing the price every year. It's how much do you play the market as per its season, as per its months, as per its time period. So the revenue management has to be very precise and very dynamic, is how I would say about revenue. Cultural sensitivities or cultural competence or cultural competence is something which I would like to say is again a managed aspect of human psychology, which needs to be integrated with our final requirement of guest satisfaction. Agra becomes a inlet towards the metropolitan Delhi, or a larger, better tourist destination than UP being Jaipur. So eventually people come here, train themselves for a very short time and move out very fast. Some of them have an understanding of Agra as just being a place where weddings are not the prime objective, but an inbound tourism is. So those mindsets have to be changed for our current set of staff members that we have. Also, the cultural sensitivities remains with the tourist. So besides MICE weddings, they have to be told there is something called as culture. There is something called as cuisine. There is something called as the vibrant festivals of the city and state. They have to be told aloud to the general public or to the population of the country. Buzzing bazaars is again a part where cultural sensitivities are broken and barriers are the barriers are broken about mindsets. So this is where overall the operational dynamics remain and lie for Agra.
Very well said, Samir. operational dynamics is what we have to manage over here, right? It's all happening. So we're like the proverbial pundit who actually is the go between the assets built and the guests who are coming in, right?
Yes.
So like you very rightly said, right, about revenues, I agree with you. Revenues can be rates, if I may, can be a double-edged sword. So it can cut either way. So one has to be very careful, but one should not get his or her eye off the ultimate objective of making every stay pleasurable and worth remembering. And you see, and they should result in a good word of mouth and repetitive business. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Samir. Much appreciate your response. Thank you. Shyam, my good friend from Andhra, if I can step in with you. You've come in from Bangalore. You've spent good time now in Agra. So you have a great handle on it now. So tell me, now that the jewel has been unveiled, if you can please unpack the significance of Agra as a global destination. Everybody knows that. But anchored by architectural marvels like the Taj Mahal and whatever is happening around that one pivot to make Agra the most happening tourism destination, perhaps in South Asia or in Asia.
Good afternoon again, everyone. So, rightly what you said, Agra is popular for Taj, and I guess for last decade or more, somewhere India was also popular for Taj. I mean, wherever globally we travel, people always connect India to Taj Mahal. So that has been a significance of Taj Mahal towards the country or towards Agra as a city. And no doubt, the city has three UNESCO monuments. In fact, Taj Mahal, the Fort of Agra, and also Fatehpur Sikri with Buland Darwaza. So what happens? I mean, to talk more about Agra, I guess even historically, when we talk about Agra or when we dig deeper, Agra also has a lot to do with Indian history. Just people say, I mean, it was Agra one, and when I traveled to Agra from Bangalore, I myself, when I started exploring the city, I myself came. There were rishis and mahamunis who used to live in Agra one, and then there is a temple of Shivji, which is next to Taj Mahal, which is again was once upon a time, the Shiv was prayed by sage Jamdagni. So just to get the relevance, the city is so old and it has a mixture of culture, which is just not the Taj Mahal or the Mughal monuments, and it also has its own cultural significance, which comes with its food, which comes with its arts and crafts, and then also close by destinations. For example, seldom people would know that Bharatpur is about 70 kilometers drive from Agra, which is great bird sanctuary just in the border of Fatehpur Sikri, and as we enter Rajasthan, a small nice bird sanctuary, Bharatpur. And then 100 kilometers from Agra, you have Vrindavan and Mathura. Another 70 kilometers from Agra, you have Bhateshwar. So, as a global destination, or when we classify a traveler into spiritual, cultural, education, or adventure traveler, I guess the city has everything to offer for every kind of mindset, wherein Taj could be the reason to travel. But once you come and see the Taj Mahal, then what? What do I do for next 2 days? So, more than a one-nighted destination, Agra has more to offer for travelers who are coming to the country or domestically traveling towards the city for 2 3 days. It's just not that it's a one-nighted destination where people come in early morning, you wake up, see Taj Mahal, and then pack your bags back to Delhi. And I guess with the way the infrastructure is coming up slowly in the city, the connectivity of flights, like what Rajesh just mentioned, we have now connected to Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Mumbai, and with Jewar coming in through, this is somewhere the destination will be unveiled more. And I guess somewhere, like what Samir was saying, every destination needs a kind of marketing. The marketing has been done in and around Taj more, but I would like to say very few people know that craftsmanship Agra is so popular that people from here even travel to Dubai to make palaces of Sheikh or do their art in their marbles, or they make dining tables, and they can make their entire lobby with stone and handworks. So tourism infrastructure wise, definitely the city needs more. I would also say with the new governance which is coming in now, I guess with the way the country's economy is booming, Mathura, Agra, and Bhateshwar, this triangle would be somewhere a replica to Ayodhya, Prayagraj, or Lucknow kind of triangle to this part of the UP. When I divide UP into two different sites, I would look at that this would be a destination wherein it would be a two-nighter or a three-nighter and more things to do. Infrastructure wise, the city is growing, so Agra has more to offer. I would definitely say that for a traveler, whether it's adventure, spiritual, or a conference like what Rajesh ji mentioned, and even like you said, weddings, a perfect destination. And if we need to compete destinations wise, because I'm heading a hotel in Agra, if I have to compete with Jaipur or any other destination, I would say Agra as a city, I have more to offer for you. You come to Agra, I'll have more to offer for you for any part of activity than any other destination which is close by, even for that extent to Jaipur.
I agree, Shyam, and also you see there's a lot of action happening. If you were to see your area where you people are located, right? Most of the hotels around Tajganj or MG Road, look at the metro which is coming. Quick time. I've seen Agra since my childhood. The Agra that I see is clean, is happening, is vibrant, has a lot of energy. And all in all, Agra needs more conversion than just absolute marketing, right? The guests are all there, they're ready to come. So the challenges are very different. And the very fact that it is within, if I were to say in so many words, walking distance from Delhi, or kissing distance from Delhi, you can go have lunch and get back to Delhi. So Agra has a lot of low-hanging fruit. All that we have to do is we have to pluck it. We have to pluck it ripe, and our conversion and ability to grab has got to be solid. Thank you so much, Shyam. You've been a quick learner, coming up to the north from the south and straight away into Agra. You seem to have learned a lot. Now let me walk across to somebody who I would say is somebody who's Agra's own child, though he's a Banarsi, but been in Agra for years or maybe decades. Amulya Kakkar. Amulya, if I can come into you.
Yeah.
Very briefly, Shyam touched upon on certain spiritual aspects of Agra. So if you were to tap into the spiritual allure of Agra and fostering harmonious coexistence with some bit of cultural tourism, how would you explain that?
Very important topic has been, taken by you. I must appreciate. Agra, as of now, Agra was known for its architectural splendorosity. Now, with addition of this spiritual part, I'm very confident that, in recent next 2 years, Agra would be a spiritual capital of UP. Why I say so? Both central government and state government are focusing on the spiritual tourism across the country. If you see, in Uttar Pradesh specifically, the huge surge of spiritual tourism in Varanasi, which has crossed almost 13 crores tourists landed in Varanasi, broken all the records, all the high time records. Similar thing is started in the other part of the state. I mean, the other cities in the state. Like day for yesterday, the Chief Minister of Agra was, Chief Minister of UP was in Agra, wherein he has visited the place called Bhateshwar, as Shyam was rightly saying. Bhateshwar is going to be a spiritual landmark in UP very soon. This CM has already sanctioned a project of close to 240 crores, which will enhance the tourism opportunities in Bhateshwar by rehabilitation of almost 42 Shivling temples, which are across the Yamuna River at the Bhateshwar itself. Agra is surrounded by 4 Shiva temples, which unfortunately people doesn't value. You know, the four corners, the Shiva temple, the Kailash temple, which is very, very important, a very spiritual place in Agra and the nearby people. The CM has sanctioned close to 42 crores for the rehabilitation of the temple of Kailash. And along with the Kailash temple, the Kailash Ghat and Balkeshwar Ghat. These two ghats has been, shall be redone up on the verge of Sabarmati riverfront, which is being made at the Ahmedabad. So by bringing these kind of projects in Agra, the opportunities for spiritual tourism is very, 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 very high. Agra is also known for its cultural tourism. Agra has a very rich culture in the city. When we talk about the rich culture, the cohesiveness in the city is very, 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 very good. If you see, in last so many years, Agra has not witnessed anything which can harm the tourism in Agra. Agra also has a Taj Mahotsav every year. This is a calendar event which happens. It's a culturally rich event which happens in Agra every year from 18th of February to 27th of February, wherein the display of the cultural activities, the musical evenings, the handicrafts, this is the cultural tourism. People come and make their visits in those days and witness the Agra Taj Mahotsav. I must say, with these kind of activities, the Agra is going to be emerge a very strong destination for spiritual tourism. The focus of the state government, especially the Chief Minister of Yogi Adityanath, towards its spiritual tourism. Agra is surrounded by Vrindavan, Bateshwar, Mathura. Vrindavan has already been focused by the state government with regards to making the corridor like Varanasi. If that happens in coming next year, it is a project of 1.5 years, which is coming up very fast. There was some hindrance from the High Court, which has now got the clearance from the High Court also. So once the construction of this corridor at Vrindavan starts, Agra is going to be benefited, like immensely benefited. Because the close proximity, Vrindavan, Mathura, Agra, this spiritual circuit can boost the tourism in Agra. We are very confident about it. Connectivity, as far as the connectivity of Agra is concerned, Agra is one of the few,
I'll touch upon connectivity in another question. Okay. So I'll keep it on spiritual tourism with you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Kakkar Saab. Okay. That's very valuable. Mukta, let me bring you into the show. I want to talk about connectivity revolution with you, Mukta. That's your question for today. If you can help me assess the impact of the upcoming Jewar Airport, which is really the topic of the show, on Agra's connectivity and its influence on the tourism influx and what it means, not just for the long term or for the medium term, and how is the industry gearing up to handle what that brings to the city?
So good afternoon once again, everyone, and thank you for your question, Mr. Khanna. And I think the show, what we are calling is Jewar to Jewel. And I would say, I think Jewar Airport is that one jewel which is missing from the crown of Agra, right? If we get the jewel right in place, the connectivity is going to be so good, and the impact that it will have on our overall economy of Agra, it's really going to be broader for tourism landscape. So definitely this is going to be very, this discussion is very exciting in terms of the prospect that we are talking about. And it is coming to at such a strategic location, the airport, which is in close proximity to Agra, which was much needed. And indeed, as you said, that it is going to be a game changer for the entire region. We feel that it is going to set, Agra for a significant boost in terms of connectivity. So, firstly, this will have, this becomes like a major transportation hub with modern facilities, and that's what the international travelers or even the domestic travelers look at. So, travel becomes one major part of anyone's planning when they are planning. Maybe it's a personal trip or it's a business trip, or what we are talking about, the mice and the wedding. So travel, how smooth your journey is going to be, how soon are you going to reach, how far is the place. So in terms of the connectivity, that the international avenues and the domestic avenues that will open for the travelers around the world is going to be massive, and which means that Agra will become more convenient and efficient, attracting a broader spectrum of tourists all around, whether it's international visitors or somebody who's just coming to explore Taj Mahal, and the domestic travelers who are just coming to experience the vibrant Agra. And it will definitely enhance the accessibility factor, which undoubtedly contribute to a surge in tourism. That's how I look at it. And moreover, the improved connectivity will not only benefit the tourists, but also business travelers. So I also personally, there are a lot of business travelers who are coming to Agra, and there are a lot of international travelers there. So if you talk and if you connect with them, this is one particular topic that they find challenging, that, just traveling by road from Agra to Delhi and then taking an international flight from Delhi becomes a little cumbersome for everyone. So this definitely brings in that comfort level for the travelers, and there is a lot to do in terms of business aspect when we talk about in Agra. So right now, if I have one individual who's on a business trip internationally, and he has other colleagues who find really travel difficult because of all such reasons, makes it really possible for all of them to come and visit the city. And when we talk about businesses and conferences, for MICE, as far as I know the industry, I think this is one area that everybody look at, the accessibility, right? How do we travel large groups and all? And every time traveling for road, so if right now we talk about capturing the market, you would capture a market like a Jaipur, Lucknow, Gwalior, Delhi, NCR, which are by road, easy in terms of commuting, and you can attract that business. But there's a lot of mice in other cities that can be captured and that can be looked at. And once we get this Jewar airport, it definitely is going to be the choice that we are ready for. So Agra has that sort of inventory to offer for mice and conference, as Rajesh also mentioned, and uh, Shyam mentioned. But there is one apprehension that people feel is travel. So this is definitely going to make that easy for them, and corporate events, meetings, and this influx in business itself, contribute to a lot of economic development in the region. So in terms of tourism landscape, we anticipate a diversified influx of visitors and improved accessibility. And this will definitely encourage tourists to explore not only the iconic landmarks that we have here in, which is Taj Mahal, and the few unknown gems that all of us have spoken about. This has the potential to boost the local economy, and also, if we talk about in terms of opportunities, a lot of people again do not come to Agra, so you have to look for mostly local talent in terms of survive there. But if the accessibility from the Jewar airport becomes better, definitely we can attract that sort of a talent to the market as well.
So tell me, Mukta, when you're doing your annual plans, have you already started considering the effect of Jewar, or it's too early?
It's I think too early to do that. Let the airport start, and definitely everybody, as we say, in terms of increasing rate and growth in the revenue, the growth that we have seen this year, obviously all the hotels have surpassed their 2019 numbers. So the budget that we are doing for the next fiscal year, we have not taken that into consideration. But I think 2025 definitely we will take that.
And that's going to have a significant effect on the ADRs?
It would. It would. It would.
Chalo. Thank you so much, Mukta. That's
Thank you.
interesting. Thank you for your response.
Thank you, sir.
I'll walk into the other Khanna now. Saurabh. Saurabh, there's no taking away India from the big fat Indian wedding and from the big fat Indian wedding, India and Agra. So if I can pick your mind on that, and how do you manage the grandeur and intricacies of hosting opulent Indian wedding in Agra's luxury hotels? And also, why Agra over other locations for this magnificent event for which all parents in India save a lot?
Thank you once again, Mr. Khanna, for the opportunity, and I'm glad I'm getting to speak about a topic rather, which is I think the darling of the industry right now. I think it's been the flavor of not just the season, but for the past few seasons, and I think has been the mainstay of our business for the past 24 to 30 months post COVID. And we've just seen how not only the effect and the relevance it has to the health of the hotel industry at large, but also to the economy of the entire city, right? There are so many ancillary businesses that are fed by weddings, whether it's the gardens or the venues, the caterers, the bands, the car rentals, the jewelry showrooms, the clothes showrooms. All of them are being fueled by one single juggernaut called the Indian wedding, right? And this segment continues to outshine and outperform year on year. I think all of us on this platform today have seen a considerable growth from 2020, 21, 22, and 23 in the wedding business that's been catered in our hotels. I mean, for us, as I said, it's been ruling the roost for not just this past quarter, but for the entire past 12 months. And we've done over 60 weddings this calendar year. And if I take an average length of stay of roughly 2.5 nights, that works out to be almost half the year that is consumed only by Indian weddings. So that's the significance of weddings to Agra as a market, and I think to our industry as a whole. Now, while typically each wedding has a template, in the sense that there is one cocktail dinner that you'll see an afternoon haldi or a mehndi function, you'll see a gala dinner on the main wedding night. But I think the experiences as years go by are getting more and more evolved. The customers and the guests are becoming more and more exposed to various other experiences globally, and they want to inculcate that in their weddings as well. What we see as a trend right now is decisions are also being narrowed down on hotels based on how many different venues can you give us, right? For each event, there is a specific theme, and guests want to not just have the decor based on that theme, but also the food, also their own attire, the music. So everything is becoming more and more customized and more personalized. Guests are willing to experiment a lot more with food offerings. They want to try Lebanese, they want to try Japanese, Thai, and the typical staple Indian requirements of Indian food and Oriental items, Chinese items, I think is gradually fading away, and guests are migrating or transitioning to more or different experiences of different cuisines. Food presentation has also become a very big aspect of the overall wedding experience, and guests, especially Gen Z, are looking at Instagrammable spots in the hotel, which they can put on their social media, and that kind of sort of amplifies the entire wedding experience. So I think the experience is shifting from that typical template to a hotel that's possibly a bit more social media savvy, and guests also sort of drifting towards that kind of hotels. I mean, wedding industry for India is a $40+ billion industry that is fueling the aspirations not just of the existing hotels, but a vast pipeline of hotels that are also being built, not just in Agra, but also all across India. And I think that's great, because it's one segment that's not just been growing year on year, but also it seems to be immune to any social, health, or economic crisis. I mean, through COVID, the only thing that we all survived on was perhaps weddings. And considering the size of our population and the surge in disposable incomes that we're seeing of late, I think there's enough meat on the bone for all of us. As long as we can cover our basics and also make sure that there are there are some wow moments that we can create for the guests who are not just paying for the wedding, but also guests who are potential suitors and will come for their own family weddings or their own weddings. So the market itself, as I feel, is going to swell going into 2024 as well, and hopefully all of us can cash in on that. Additionally, to answer your question on why Agra is so much more a preferred destination, I think one, of course, as everyone's alluded to, is the connectivity from Delhi NCR, which still remains to be our primary source market. It's the easiest getaway, barely 2.5, 3 hours. Also, the city itself has built a full infrastructure, right? You've got vendors for everything. You've got different food experiences. So it's almost a turnkey solution. So for someone to plan a wedding for which they've been saving all their life savings for, the hassle of trying to plan things, trying to move materials from one location to another location, I think all that is going away slowly. And I think people are realizing the benefit of a destination that is very close to a metro city and has everything in-house pretty much to deliver exceptional experiences. And I think once now the new airport comes in, the Jewar airport that Mukta spoke of, and also once the Agra airport kind of sort of redevelops, I'm sure connectivity only gets better year on year. We're also seeing more cities being added. I think Jaipur is the most latest addition from the connectivity standpoint. We had Ahmedabad earlier as well. So I think as more cities connect, we will see more and more people coming from location that we were perhaps not very used to. I mean, we've got a lot of weddings from South India that we never saw before, from East India as well, from Kolkata. So I think the world is kind of shrinking, and as the connectivity gets better, I think Agra will only benefit. Thank you.
Thanks a pile, Saurabh. Very well said, especially the part where there's a lot of, so there's a lot more meat on the bone. So there's hope, right? And I think we just need to plan better. We need to anticipate better. We need to execute even better.
Correct.
Right? Thanks a pile. And the big fat Indian wedding is not going away anywhere, because the youngsters our earlier generation wanted loud weddings, thematically. But the current generation is ready to experiment. They're going the extra yard. And more than anything else, they don't mind spending good money.
Correct.
Yeah. So thanks a pile. At this point, I'll take a short commercial break of 10 to 15 seconds, and I'll come back to you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Diversey. Let me walk across to you, Rajesh ji, for your second question for the day. I'd really want to pick your mind with somebody who's got such experience on revenue management. What will be your approach for achieving financial sustainability while delivering top-notch services?
Thank you, Bhuvanesh, once again. And it's a very, very pertinent question for me, as I have moved into this city and Uttar Pradesh for the first time. And it's been just 2 months. So it was more important for me to understand the entire market scenario and the dynamics on what we operate the business here. So I've done some maths back of the envelope, and let me put it into perspective. What I understood and learned with the entire, study reports and facts and figures which I can accumulate. The city have 12, luxury hotels, which is 5-star category. And the city has to offer in our segment almost 2,150 rooms in the city. Average ARR of the city is around 7,190. And the RevPAR of the city is 4,733. And average occupancy throughout the year for Agra 5-star category hotels is at 66%. And if we do a split between, room income and food and beverage, overall, it's always 60-40. 60 is the room revenue and 40 is food and beverage. So after crunching all this, statistics, what I learned that at 60%, 66% of occupancy and ADR of 7193 and inventory of 2,153 five-star hotels, we have 732 rooms which is unsold on an everyday basis. This means that 192 CR per year, and counting F&B also put together, it will be around 270 CR. So the bottom line, daily opportunity lost in the city in terms of room is around 52 lakhs. F&B put together, it will come up to 73 lakhs loss per day. So total market value, though it's project, 520 CR, we managed to get just 375 CR to around 395 CR. And if you add 125 CR for F&B, it is not even coming closer to the potential what we have. And branded inventory is 2,231. Now also there are reports which is showing that there'll be an addition of 1,256 rooms to the existing inventory what we have. In the existing inventory, as I said, we are doing 66% of the occupancy. We are driving good ADR overall as a city, which is 7,150. But 34% of the inventory is unsold, average throughout the year. So put together, if I say that, if the demand is growing at 5%, why the revenue is only increasing and growing by 4%? And this 1% difference is huge at the tune of almost 192 CR. So my recommendation in this whole dynamics and statistical data analysis says that we have to sell our rooms, maybe if we have to attract and fill that 34% deficit in terms of inventory. So that will produce also F&B put together. So probably a sell of 20-25%, little lesser what ADR we are driving at this current of time. It will increase revenue every day, and new inventory when it gets added in the entire portfolio, it will add more value. As it always understand, means we don't take the ADR to the bank. It's the overall profitability what we do, we need to take it to the bank as owners, all stakeholders.
Yeah, I also think, very aggressive ADRs can also be counterproductive, and they can miss the sweet spot on the cricket bat, right?
Absolutely.
So, right. So you've basically got to attract in a lot of guests.
Absolutely.
And let them spend, create opportunities and get them to spend on F&B, on facilities, on spas, on everything. And also give them a package where they keep coming back and keep bringing back more people. I'd much rather have a higher occupancy than a higher ADR.
Absolutely. And rather than going 34% of occupancy is vacant,
yeah,
and losing out a revenue of at the tune of almost 292 CR, it's a loss to the hotels, to the city.
True.
And if you see the market dynamics in terms of segment of hotels also, it's the mid-market which is ruling the roost, that is around 32%.
True.
Upper upscale is just 17%.
True.
Upscale is 34%, and luxury is only 16%.
There you are.
But the main area which is more, deficient is the budget hotels. It is only 10% is the market for this. And if we have to do greater, business scenario for the city, probably we have to have these brands, positioned in the city as well, so that overall the revenue generation as tourism as well as hotel industry will be great in the future. Also, as you have, kept the theme for this entire, from Jewar to Jewel, Agra's luxury hospitality in the connectivity area and era. I would say, connectivity in capacity of flight size, again, empty city rooms, almost 34%. Time constraint will be also be mitigated if this Jewar thing comes up, which will help the entire logistic, transportation, limitation of road and railway network will be also confined. Additional cost going to be incurred to reach destination and loss of this money to the city will be also mitigated. And mixed use of MICE as well as tourism to increase the average length of stay in the city is much going to be appreciated in the future.
Thank you so much, Rajesh. That's very interesting, very detailed, and very valuable. The point that you specifically make, I've already spoken about it. ADR should not become counterproductive.
Absolutely.
And I'd much rather have my hotel filled than to have a 34% vacant spot like that you said. Thanks a pile. This is so valuable. Great response. Samir, if I was to come back to you, I want to pick your mind, Samir, on strategic positioning. How can general managers strategically position Agra as a global hospitality hub?
It's a bouquet of multiple steps that need to be taken by all of us. And strategic position will remain as the final outcome if you start looking at, let's say, quality positioning. You start looking at brand positioning. You start looking at situational positioning. You start looking at the benefit positioning. You start looking at, let's say, the perceptual positioning of the hotel. You also look at the competitive positioning as to I am better than XYZ, XYZ is better than ABC. Those kind of activities have to be carried out to finally position ourselves. For doing that, I think marketing ourselves is the most important thing. Every hotel does that, but everybody needs to find that sweet spot which they are very well versed with to play the game. And accordingly to the demand also, we have to keep changing ourselves. That is very important. If you start playing the game only of weddings, then eventually you will have vacant capacity within the hotel. When I say situational positioning, everybody's talking about Jewar as the future for connectivity. But what if it goes, God forbid, against Agra? What if it becomes a touch and go where people land in the morning, come to Agra, visit it by the afternoon, and head straight to the neighboring states and city?
Oh, yes.
Our situational positioning will change where we become the preferred destination for food and beverages for the afternoon or let's say the mid-afternoon snack period. These are the certain things which people will have to assess and then take decisive steps about. And as I said in the beginning, it's one of my favorite things to say. This is a moving picture. It just needs to be captured and narrated the way the audience wants to see or feel it. So that's how I would say with regards to the strategic positioning. And the means remain within what we are doing already. MICE, weddings, FIT, inbound, culinary experiences, corporate. So all segments that we know about will remain as the plugs to play and as the sockets to play and plug and then move ahead.
True. How well, good I asked you this. So you can't have Jewar becoming a connectivity hotspot where people just land and completely give the hospitality option a miss for Agra. So that'll be such a waste.
Least said the better, and least thought in against Agra the better. So let's hope.
This is something which we really missed. But yeah, I guess we'll have to plan much better and the government even better.
Yes, all flights land only in the evening or at least in the afternoon onwards. Make it somewhere, all landings is before 12 o'clock.
True.
All departures only before 3 o'clock or after between 3 and 5, something like that.
Great. Thanks a pile, Samir. That's very valuable. Shyam, if I can come to you, I want now our next 4 answers are going to be within 3 minutes each. So let's talk about, if I can pick your brains on GM's vision, what in your view will be a general manager's visionary strategy for steering Agra's luxury hospitality into a new era of excellence?
So first of all, I'd like to thank Samir for bringing in the point. I always think there is two sides of a coin. So Jewar Airport, thanks for bringing it, Samir. Very well thought. It can flip any side, and we should be ready. And to cover the aspect of luxury GM, what would be the visionary strategies? I would say there is nothing better than the great exceptional customer service. I think for us in hospitality, I think that's the base of our business, which is a great customer service. And most of the luxury hotels are a brand. When a guest buys in your room night or an F&B dining experience, all he looks for is the best service. So focusing on basics stays as a priority, but then added to that, I would say every brand and every hotel needs to have some kind of exclusive experiences. A luxury GM or a GM who has a kind of vision to run his hotel for X number of years, you need to add something wherein the guest who's staying in your hotel, Agra, whatever said and done, is not a corporate city, it's a leisure destination. They need to have something to do. For example, within the brand, what we have, DoubleTree, we have something called evening rituals. So the guest can participate in your candle lighting in the lobby. He could go, do your own cookie session or do your own mocktail session. So something like that, you need to keep on engaging your guest and do things which are only for him. So because the new age traveler, we are like Samir, I think mentioned previously also, we are dealing with three generations overlapping: the Gen X, Gen Z, and the millennials. Everyone comes with a different mindset, and everyone has their own kind of approach towards a hotel. So experiences are going to drive your revenues for the hotels. And then how much do you partner with local assets? How many strategic partnerships does the GM do within the city or outside the city to bring in more brand image or more presence in the market? Whether you work with like-minded brands, how much do you work with a BMW, or how much will you work with a Mercedes, or how much will you work with some kind of industry which is on a similar lifestyle experiences, and how do hotels collaborate with them so that together you can create a massive kind of experience or a massive kind of event for the city and for the hotel. Then technology, for sure. If you don't follow technology, you'll be again in a AD or a before price generation. So you have to, as a general manager, every day you got to reinvent. You have to follow with these new changes that are coming in technology, whether it is room wise, product wise. You have to keep continuously investing and ask your owners to invest back in your product. Whether it is something small things like a digital key, express check-in, booking your room online, having your hotel on digitally on the phone so that they can select their room choice, things like that. So technologically, you have to be there, and you can't just go behind. The greater aspect is also for Agra, I would feel, as a luxury GM, you definitely need to invest some time and efforts into having a good wellness and spa, as well as a good fitness center, because people are, whatever said and done, our new generation is more towards fitness. Every traveler who comes in, he doesn't want to miss
what if I was to ask you, is an all-inclusive option a good option?
A great option, and yes, all-inclusive is one of the best things that is going to happen, and India is going to see it very, very soon.
India is a little late as compared to the West and the other parts of the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. So once you check in, I mean, anyone who would there, once you check in, you do not have to worry what services I'm used to or what services I'm entitled to. Whether it's your cocktail hours in the evening.
I have, by the way, just come back from the run of Kutch,
yeah.
And you only have all-inclusive plans over there.
Absolutely.
Once you've reached, you've already paid for everything, and everything is included.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for leisure destinations, that's the way to go. And then, of course, sir, I would say, make sure your hotel is safe. You have your crisis management and security always there. The people are looking for safe destinations with the way world is going. And the new general managers need to be seen. You have to be seen. You have to be social media. You have to be savvy with social media. You got to be digitally present there. If you are shy, then you're not there. So the new age general managers, or the vision of a general manager, is you have to be the face of the hotel. You are the poster boy. So be on the poster, enjoy that space, because you worked hard to become a poster boy. I think we all slogged a decade or more than that to get there. So take advantage of being the poster boy and be on the front.
And also, I think we also need to work out of our comfort zones. And we need to play on the front foot and aggressively take measured and calculated risks, but go ahead and take them.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Shyam. That's wonderful. Short, crisp, to the point. Kakkar Saab, now let me come to you, Amulya. Let's talk about city infrastructure. I've seen Agra change, like I did say in the first half of the session. What has been the influence of new developments in infrastructure on Agra's hospitality sector? I want a very short and crisp response.
You are absolutely correct, Khanna sir. There was a drastic change as far as the infrastructure facilities in Agra is concerned. Agra, the city of Taj, has witnessed the upsurge in tourism over the last few years. And this can only be attributed to the improved infrastructure facility which has been developed in the city in the recent times. As observed in the last few years, there have been a tremendous improvement in the infrastructure, such as road connectivity throughout the city. Agra is one of the few cities in the country that has 3 expressway connectivity: Agra-Delhi Yamuna Expressway, Agra-Lucknow Expressway, and NH19. Which has rendered it easier for the tourists to reach the city. The upgrade in the roadways has significantly enhanced the traveling experience of the tourist and making Agra more accessible from nearby destinations. This can be discerned from the fact that the segment of domestic tourists has significantly increased post-COVID. More number of tourists are coming from Agra for staycation and the weekends from nearby destinations because of the easier accessibility. Even the ongoing development of metro in the city can be instrument in the boosting tourism, and it can be traveling in the city more convincingly. Other initiative taken towards the improvement of the infrastructure involves the revamping of nearby areas, which are nearby monument areas, such as the development of Mehta Bagh and the Taj Viewpoint, from where the tourist can witness an attractive view of Taj Mahal also. This offers a very enjoyable and unique tourist experience. Even there can be the other smaller improvement which we must discuss here, like the creation of Wi-Fi zones, maintenance of road hygiene, the cleanliness, regulation of traffic, and the installation of street lights, which adds the tourist experience and makes Agra a nice and tourist-friendly destination. Also, the getting of approval from the Ministry of Environment recently, which is a big achievement towards the enhancing of infrastructure development in the city, especially in terms of the construction of new civil terminal, which was overdue from last 15 years. The government has already been in process of issuing the tendering process. As per the recent development, the project cost is close to 450 crores, which is to be shared by the state government and the central government. And the completion time of the project has been kept for 700 days.
And also, very frankly, for anybody who keeps coming back to Agra, the change is very visible and it's in the face.
Absolutely correct.
The quality of roads, the quality of infrastructure. I'm not saying that it is mostly around Tajganj. It is across, right? The metro is gone underground without too many disruptions, so it's all pretty good.
I'm witnessing Agra from last 40 years. When I came to Agra in 1982, and since then and today, there is a drastic improvement. When I say drastic, yes, it's a total reformation, reformation of Agra.
Yeah, it's very visible, and all in all, it augurs well. Thank you, Mr. Kakkar. That was a crisp response. Much appreciate. Really grateful. Mukta, I'm coming back to you, right? I want to pick on your mind. You're somebody who's not a local. Amulya is almost a local now, right? I think long time ago he was in Varanasi. So I think you're somebody new. You studied the place. Let's talk about heritage insights And how do you utilize Agra's rich heritage beyond the Taj Mahal? Look, Taj Mahal, everybody knows. What more to offer to the guests? Some immersive and insightful experiences. I want a short and crisp response from you, Mukta.
So you've asked, I think, the right person, because I have been to Agra before this stint. I've been to Agra as a traveler 3, 4 times earlier, and I honestly speaking, I didn't know anything about Taj. Even we came here, saw Taj family trip once with friends, so we had 3, 4 trips, but never ever we explored Taj, Agra beyond Taj. So when we're talking about the heritage, I believe that it's a responsibility as hoteliers to build that emotional connect with the guest and make them aware of what Agra is all about. So a lot of people here have spoken about like a Bateshwar Dham, Mathura, Vrindavan. Everybody knows. So there are a lot of people, but Mathura and Vrindavan, if we talk about, is developing otherwise in terms of hotels also. Right. So there's something called, Shyam spoke about the craftsmanship in Agra that we have. So there's something called Zardozi, right? And that's such a beautiful art that I wasn't ever aware that it belongs to this place, this city, Agra. So what we have done is, I'll give you an example of, at our concierge, we've created packages based on people and as to how many number of nights they are here in the city. And we always suggest them, and we, connect them with those guides who can actually create those sort of stories about Agra wherever they are visiting, be it Agra Fort, Sikandra, Fatehpur Sikri, Itmadullah, or this Mehtab Bagh. So there's a story behind every place that you go into Agra, right? So and Agra not only about this historical, and there is another important part of Agra is the culinary, that beauty of the food here. So in our hotel, we have created, in our coffee shop, we have created a separate space called Agra Local, wherein this Agra Bidai and Agra food and, the Delhi Gate ka chai and all that is included there.
So
So
have you included Petha and Dalmot?
so Petha, Dalmot, and the Kachori is offered to each and every guest at the hotel as a welcome amenity. So when they check in, this is what we give to them as welcome amenity.
Agra, Mukta has so much. If we can do tours around how shoes are made, Agra is the home of the footwear.
Right.
So, I mean, it moved from here to Chennai.
True, true.
The real action is, the real craftsmen are here. So
Not only Chennai, Mr. Khanna, even to Italy, right? There are foreigners who are coming in.
I mean, you go from one factory to the other. Amulya will tell you, all the Aroras of the world and the Kapoors, they are making for Bata.
Right. And you talk about the brands, and they're making it here, and these are a lot of again few long stays that I'm sure we, as since we are at a location in Sanjay Place, wherein we get to host them here, and they stay with us, and we get to hear so many stories behind this from them, that what all this is about and where it comes from and the ages it has.
So the good thing is, when you ask somebody who's new to Agra about all this, they've already made the effort to know the place. Thank you, Mukta, for this.
Thank you.
I'm grateful to you.
Thank you, sir.
Right, such a pleasure. I'll move in, like I always say, to the other Khanna. Saurabh, Saurabh, I want to pick your mind on, inbound hasn't kicked in as well as we would have wanted it to. Have we got on to the level of 2019? Most certainly not. So tell me about the NRI allure and tap into the vast potential of the NRI Indian diaspora as a key market for Agra's luxury hospitality. I want a very short and crisp answer, because I'm getting to the closure time.
Sure. I think, as you rightly said, that the inbound segment is perhaps the only one that's yet to recover fully from 2019 levels. And I think similarly, the NRI segment also is following that similar trajectory. And what's but heartening to see of the past 6 to 10 months, a trend that there's been a resurgence in travel from NRIs. And that's always been a major source of transient travel for most international companies, especially like ours. I think in the aftermath of COVID, many families were unable to reunite with their loved ones back in India for almost a period of 2 years. Many second generation NRIs were not able to showcase their roots, the cultural riches that India has to offer to the next generation. And all this pent up demand has off late led to a resurgence of travel from NRIs, especially from US, UK, and some parts of Canada. And I think in the past couple of months at least, we've seen a phenomenal inflow of NRIs that are coming to our shores or through our doors in the recent past. And I think what's again heartening to see is that they're not just coming with their immediate families. You see them traveling in much larger groups of friends or extended families. They're not just covering the typical golden triangle of Delhi, Jaipur, Agra, but they're venturing to other cities as well. Of course, what's also taken prominence is religious pilgrimage, right? A lot of them have not perhaps done their religious pilgrimage for many years. So they're visiting Varanasi, they're visiting Haridwar, and all of them are coming via Agra as well to make sure that they get a glance of the Taj Mahal whilst they're visiting the other cities that we spoke of. Again, an encouraging sign is that the inflow of these travelers is not just restricted to Q1 and Q4, what we would typically see. I think we've been seeing them coming throughout the course of the year, the past 12 months. Of course, the numbers swell in Q1 and Q4, but what's heartening to see is that at least Q2 and Q3 also seeing a similar number. For a company, a global company like us, I think the NRIs kind of get naturally attracted to hotels like ours for two reasons. One is, of course, the lure of the brand that we've got. It's a brand that's got presence all over, so I think it's easy recognition. And secondly, our loyalty program, Marriott Bonvoy. So we've got almost 150 million members worldwide. So that kind of helps us get a competitive advantage over other players in the market, and that's really something that we play on.
Tell me, Saurabh, have you seen significant movement on this, or you've seen just the first spots of green shoots?
I would say the last 2 months has definitely shown a significant movement. It would not just be the first spots of green shoot. I think the first spots of green shoot started coming towards the end of Q1, which, I mean, I'm talking about calendar year, not financial year. But yeah, we're seeing, as I said, slowly the numbers are flowing in consistently, and that's what we're really happy with from an overall perspective. And I think this segment's always been an immense contributor to the health of our industry, and also to the health of the local economy as well, right? They're buying guides, they're eating out, they're doing the entire
direct and indirect, and also from a forex standpoint,
correct.
Precious foreign exchange, and also when Indians don't go outside, we say forex.
Correct. And also, as Mukta spoke of, how do you expose people to the local heritage and the local culture, right? So these are the guys who are willing to see all those elements, how the carpets are made or how the marbling is done.
One international head of state, right? They're all international, of course. What am I saying? So any head of state, they all, or celebrities, they try and steal a trip to Agra.
Correct.
And be there.
Even if it's not an overnight stay, at least it's a flying visit. But I think Agra is on everyone's mind.
It is. Saurabh, thanks a pile. I'm sorry this was a quick one, but I stand excused for that, and I hope you will not mind. But we're headed into the closure of the show. Thanks a pile. That was very valuable. The NRI allure is huge. The inbound allure is huge, right? It helps us to showcase the destination, the hotel, and more than anything else, our hospitality in good light.
Correct.
Right? So thanks a pile, Saurabh. Apologies again. Ladies and gentlemen, before I thank you all, let me try and sum up the show with your permission, as we conclude this episode. We witness Agra is poised, or may I say, it's already on the brink of a hospitality revolution. The blend of the historical grandeur, its culinary richness, and upcoming connectivity enhancements present a canvas of infinite possibilities. Like Mukta spoke about, Samir spoke about, Shyam did, and just now Saurabh did. Thank you for joining us in exploring this journey of Agra from a timeless jewel to a global hospitality jail, embracing the future with open arms. Now, let me tell you, these ladies and gentlemen that you see on the screen are not just the brand ambassadors for Agra, their brands and for their hotels. They had very expensive assets. Each of these assets are worth hundreds of crores. They generate precious direct and indirect employment, and they rake in great revenue day in and day out. It's not an easy job to do. They are hawk-eyed, but they have a 24/7 job. But then for all those impressionable who are watching this show, you must strive to fill their shoes over the next few years. These guys are great champions. They are great businessmen. They are brilliant entrepreneurs. And you would do well to follow them. You would follow them on social media, their hotels, and what they do. In which other industry can you head such mammoth assets and run such successful businesses worth thousands of crores, the kind of revenue they churn in? Their assets were worth hundreds of crores, right? And if I was to ask them, Samir, how many people in your hotel?
We run with an strength of nearly around 350 plus people.
There you are, Shyam.
160.
Rajesh ji?
It's around 375.
There you are, Mukta.
150.
All right, Saurabh.
210.
Amulya ji?
205.
So there you are. Can you imagine? This is the direct employment. Imagine the indirect employment. These are all stars. Thank you, Samir, for being there on the show. I'm delighted to have you there. Our first show together, and most certainly the next one will follow soon. Rajesh ji, our second one together. The third waits, right? Shyam, thank you so much, right? Thanks a pile. Saurabh, good to have my first show going with you. Amulya ji, with you also.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for being there, sir. Mukta, thank you for being there. Delighted to do this show with you, right? Imagine a woman hotelier heading a magnificent asset in Agra, where her hotel stands was actually a jail at one point in time. It's now called Sanjay Place. You have to be there.
I'm the jailer now.
Yep, so you're the jailer now, or maybe the warden. All right. Before I shut the show, let me thank Diversey. Thank you, everybody. And also let me thank the BW team. Thank you, everybody. You've been great stars who are taking care of the back end. We've been doing this for 6 months. This is the penultimate show. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we go into Amritsar, Ludhiana, all of Punjab and Chandigarh for our last show of the season. That's episode number 36. Tomorrow is Friday, the 29th of December. Be there 4 p.m. as we sign off from this season. Thank you once again, Rajesh ji, Samir, Shyam, Amulya ji, Mukta, and Saurabh. Grateful. Thank you for gracing our platform.